well, I'm gonna get a chance to actually get up there and look at this thing probably tomorrow. But yeah, she's huge. What a ship. Very cool. This is literally the walkway up to this thing to begin the tour at the museum. This ship is absolutely massive. It's fucking wild, man. This is gonna be cool. Those are some big guns. This is the USS North Carolina. Obviously I'm in North Carolina. And my younger brother is very much into this sort of thing. He's quite the historian. When I told him that I was down here looking at this, he actually said to me, I think it was BB-55 is the designation for this ship. I didn't know that, but he said, oh, you're at BB-55. I was like, what is that? So, yeah, I took a bunch of videos down in the crew deck and all that stuff. There's a whole bunch going on. You can go into some of the turrets here and actually got an initial reaction just walking onto the ship. I'm more comfortable with it now. Obviously, it wasn't an uncomfortable thing, but you can see the grand nature of this ship it's huge. I mean, we're standing, this part of the deck at the very bow is about 20 feet higher than just behind the first turret. So if you want to see anything specifically, go ahead and leave a comment, send a direct message to me, and I'll try to get that part of my video finished earliest, and maybe even just post some clips for you. So hit me up in the comments, let me know what you want to see. I'm going to try to get like an actual scale photo of this thing. So here it is behind me, right? The whole ship. I'm trying to find a spot to set this down and frame that for a photo, and I'm going to go stand next to it and see if I can, because I got the GoPro, but obviously I have to put all that stuff on the app, and that's real clumsy, so it's kind of windy today. But yeah, I wanted to get you something like right away, because I mean, this is the tail of the ship right here. They have this, I don't remember which aircraft this is, but they had two of them, I guess, on catapults. This one is just on a little wheelie storage thing, but the catapults in the model are shown on the rear here. Oh, how funny. You hear that? They have like the replicated calls. That's cool. Anyway, so I can't remember which class it is. I'm assuming it's Iowa. But I know a couple of them were built with 4 turrets and then were converted to 3. I didn't know if that was the case with this one or not. It looks like it was just built with the 3 turrets. Okay, I decided to do a video anyway. So here it is, this fucking giant thing. I'm gonna go run over there and stand next to it so you can see just how big that is. It's huge! So cool. Okay, I'm gonna try and enjoy this thing. I just wanted to send you that stuff right off the bat, my first impressions. This is a huge ship, man. Okay, I'm gonna shoot this in selfie mode for now so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm walking into, because I don't have the GoPro on a stick anymore. So if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm looking at the screen. and not you. Okay, here's the opening. Right, first, we'll show you what I'm getting into. So I already have a photo of this. There's the turret, the big boy. And this is the aft deck, so behind me, that's the front. Superstructure, all that jazz. You know all this stuff. Okay. And this is the turret guide. So this is the first turret that I went into. And it's the most complete of all of them. Ugh. So you can see, it's not a tight squeeze per se getting in the opening, but overhead in here is of limited space. So, I don't know if I can actually, you know what, I'm gonna have to switch the camera if I can. Nope, I can't, so I'm gonna have to start over. Okay, so, there are chairs here, here, and here, and there are 3 lens sets on the back of the periscope. So it extends all the way to the end there, all the way to the other end there, and then forward of that on the exterior is what I was talking about, the range finders. Those are actually way down, so there's a diagram over this way that I'll show you in a sec. Very informative, but you probably already know this. So all the, what were they called? The aiming, like the aiming guys, they're way down in the hole up to the front on that side and then on the other side. And I guess those are the range finders like you were saying. And they have 3 dudes that deal with those. So anyway, I'll just show you the stuff. So here's one objective lens. Let's see if I can get the view with this phone camera. So I was able to get it with the GoPro. Come on, buddy. So this is an array. So it's pointing right at the kingfish in the back. There we go. That's okay, hang on. I'll get it back. And unfortunately, my phone is an array, so it has 2 cameras. It's kind of hard to get that in. But there you go, there's one view. This one, only one of the 2 lenses is working. And let me see, I don't remember which one. Okay, it's the right, and it's kind of murky. So this one isn't as good, but you can see a bit of what it's viewing, which again is the kingfish. And then number 3 over there. Ugh. I'm just gonna kind of, oh, and they got all this caution tape on this because that's where you walk through. Ugh. Yikes. Yeah, I'm always worried about dinging myself on something in here. These things are, I mean, it's not, the ship isn't, it's not uncomfortable. It's just, you know, it's like a tank. Really, I mean, the one day that I had experience in your tank, it's moderately similar. Some of the spaces are a little bit more cramped than others, but nothing really crazy. Okay, and there you go. This is pointed toward the 5-inch turret in the back, and beyond that, the house. And that apparently is the actual crosshair. So if this thing were to fire right now, it would fuck up somebody's life. But the cannons on this turret have plugs installed. The cannons on the fore end do not. They have covers. So I think that was something that might have been a municipal requirement to be able to place it here. Because obviously if you had a mildly disgruntled sailor that somehow or another could lug a fucking entire round into one of these barrels, I suppose, then it could become a problem. But and then this periscope, yeah, so this is the best one. So this is, I think, let me look at the diagram because I think that's where the officer stood. That would be right here. Computer operator, so the computer's over there. Computer operator, turret captain. So that would have been the turret officer, I think. Yes, okay. So turret officer's periscope, right? So he's got his little stool right here if he's a short guy. And yeah, so let me find the view. Because that one is really clear. Yeah, there you go. And that's the flag on the aft of the ship. There you go. Okay, now check this out. This is the best part. So, entryway to the range guys, and there were 3, right, for each one, I think. Left side pointer, trainer, setter. Yeah, and then you got your gun captains, your cradle operators, and your hoist operators. Okay, so there's your aiming guys all the way up there, right? And that's a piece of like, they use, on this whole ship, they don't have mannequins, they have these like boards that they cut into the shape of a person and bent around to make them look like they're standing there or doing something. So there's the round, right? Your hoist. So it's getting ready to lay down and dump that thing into the breach. And that's the first stage. And they did 3 stages of loading in this. So there's another view. Right? Oh no, that's, is this the next one? Oh, you know what? I'm getting screwed up. This is center powered powder hoist operator. So that's the hoist operator position for gun number 1. Okay, so gun number 2 is hoist operators right here. You know, obviously got lots of room, like a loader. And then over here, they've dropped the hoist has brought up the powder. It's dropped out onto the door, and then they've, you know, so they do, like, you know, they do 2 sets. And then these guys are just laying it in, make sure it stays in position. And then they're gonna ram it in the breech, right? View number 2, you can see the breech, or the chamber lock, which has, goddamn, so many ribs, man. Like, it's wild how much, I don't know. I'm as fascinated about this stuff as you are. It's incredible how, like, the engineering for this had to be ridiculous. And then these are the gun status readouts. Obviously, these aren't oriented properly, but they did light them up at least, so you can kind of see what they were supposed to look like. This is the full battle door. They've removed that for the others to give you a view, but they left this one in place so you can actually see what it would have looked like. You only had that tiny little view to the guy, and that was it. And then these guys have rammed it home, right? And they're getting ready to get the cradle out of the way and close the breech and then fire. And last view over here, all the way up. This door is kind of fuzzy, but there you kind of can get a look into the area where the ranging guys would be sitting. And then, yeah, so back across the turret. This is what's nuts, man. It is just how big this fucking turret is. Like, it's, let me see if I can, I'm gonna try to set this down so I can give you some kind of indication. Let me prop it up a little bit so it gets a little bit better angle. Sit just like that. Okay, I'm just gonna walk through this so you can see. Now, some of this stuff, this is like wood right here. It looks like part of the turret. This wasn't the original design. It didn't even have these rails. This whole thing was just an open floor. They only put this in because there are these, the beams right across the middle that you would have to step over, right? And then some of the other structure that's around. But they've done a great job as a museum, like putting things together and making it look like it was built this way, but keeping people from running into stuff or messing with things like the plexiglass box around the phone. But here's where the officer would be standing. You know, he's got his controls for the, oh, wait a minute, can I move this? Oh shit, it's still functional. Yeah, it's got an elevation adjuster. Oh my God, I can't move it side to side. Obviously, I think that's locked to the turret. But I can move up and down from the water line. I'll grab the phone and bring it over and I'll show you. Okay, far end. There you go. There's your 4-scale person. Take a screenshot and post that online. Okay. Oh, I don't want to forget this, the computer. So, of course, you know me and my electronics. So here's, I don't actually know the nature of all of these. Maybe you could tell me. But I think these are, so it says transfer panel. I don't know. It looks like it's a circuit management panel. So like if you have circuits that go down for some reason, you can move things to auxiliary and main and all that sort of thing. And then here's your actual computer readout. Well, hang on. There's, what is this guy? That one I'll have to, okay, so this is deflection, yards of range, fucking 29,000, Jesus. You can kind of hardly see that with the with the glare, but okay. And then this is the fire control computer. I'm just gonna kind of slowly move this over so you can read everything, because I am totally not familiar with exactly how all this would work, but I imagine this takes all of the various things that you can see into account, and then gives you a deflection, or like shows your deflection and side angle, or some variation of that. It allows adjustment with all the knobs, which do actually move. So you can, this thing is still mostly functional. But yeah, okay, so let me show you we'll put this guy back up to the periscope. We'll do an elevation adjustment. There's and it doesn't respond quite as it normally should, but you can, so that's, it's more or less up there. Yeah, it's not 100%. Okay, I probably shouldn't mess with it too much, but anyway, so it's a little bit loose. It probably needs a little help, but it does still move a little bit, and then you can see mechanically that it will just barely tilt that guy back and forth when you move this, because the gears are still working. Anyway, so there's your tour. We'll walk our way back out. Oh, and there's the Mark III Mod 1 computer by Ford Instrument Company. Hell yeah. Oh no, my radiation detector. Okay. That is not functioning, dang it. I don't know why. I think I had a battery failure, but I'm gonna have to fix that before well, maybe once I'm overseas. Anyway, okay, and there's the hole to get out of. Here we go. Alrighty. Yeah, that's it. That is the entryway to get into this giant turret. It's even got the 5-inch guns on top of it that would move with it, which is really cool. Yeah, big boy, really big. Look at this. That is the thoroughfare from the top, well, not from the top deck. Oh no, actually, yeah, it was. From the top deck all the way to the bottom, they would lower heavy ass things like this and use this crane system. But people would throw pennies and such down here. I wonder how many phones were held like that and lost. It's not gonna be mine. Look at this. So first off, this is the sloped armor. And sorry, I'm using the front camera. It's easier for me to see what I'm doing. Yeah, so here's the sloped armor, right? That's how thick it is. There's the seam line. So I don't know how many millimeters that, I mean, it's gotta be, you know, fucking incredibly. But it looks fairly similar to even like the Sherman E2 actually. But yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a tour here. You can see all the weld lines, how this thing was constructed. It's pretty straightforward, but the paint on it, this is what's really interesting. So you see it's rusting here. The touch-ups and all that stuff, this thing had to have been, I mean, it was a, you know, saltwater ship, but it's really bad. Like you can see how much corrosion there is all over this thing. It's you know, in the turret armor and yeah, all over everything. Even just sitting out here, because where it's at right now is a marsh, and you know, it's probably fresh water technically, but I bet there's plenty of salinity. And then the fact that it's so close to the ocean here, I mean, the Atlantic is not that far. But yeah, it's like I can see why it costs so much money to keep them in good repair, because this thing probably has to be painted almost as regularly as any mothball fleet ship. I've completed the tour. I got a bunch of video on GoPro. I don't know how long it's going to take me to release any of that, but I'll try and take some clips just for you and send them to you. Yeah, if you have any specific things that you wanted to see, let me know.